Hello and welcome to special Monday racing coverage on the In the Money Media Network, In the Money Media YouTube channel, In the Money Players podcast. Peter Thomas Fornatale coming back from you from the Gold Coast on the North Shore of Long Island once again, and very happy to be joined by a man who's been on these airwaves before, but most of the contributions he's done, and there have been a ton of them, have been behind the scenes and behind the keyboard. Chance Rains has been covering Presque Isle for us, doing some great early week coverage. He's also been doing some web producing and other innumerable tasks behind the scenes. This summer, he's up at the spa helping out with the America's Day at the Races show. Chance, welcome back to the In the Money Airwaves. How are things?
Things are excellent. As you've said, I'm having a great time. The spa is beautiful, and I'm so glad I've gotten to spend the longest Saratoga meet in Saratoga to just be there for that extended period of time to take it all in. It's been such a blast, and I can't wait as we get into the real meat of the Saratoga meet with the Whitney coming up.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We have lots of coverage of that happening. Make sure you subscribe to the In the Money Media YouTube channel. Check out inthemoneypodcast.com for all of our coverage. I invited you here. You've been helping out behind the scenes, doing the web producing for these social segments we're sending out for Monday. Invited you to do the handicapping this week. I saw you popped on here with an Fleet Alex hat, and I said, this man understood the assignment. Where'd you get that hat?
I got this as a website on, I believe, it's not a website. It's on eBay, I believe. It's Embroidery Fox. If you just type in a horse name and then hat, you can find, they have a lot of different ones. They've got Mind That Bird, Fussaci Pegasus, Empire Maker, a Fleet Alex. I've got this one, and I've got a Life is Good one sitting in my closet. I think that was on the Cinnabella Downs. I had that Life is Good hat. Very happy with both of these hats. I'd recommend that if you're looking for a good horse racing hat.
You know, every year right around Thanksgiving, we do our Degenerates gift giving guide. I'm going to make you remind me of that website. And Jennifer Kelly, who always does that show with me, we'll make sure to plug it because that does sound like good gifts for a horse player. Now, definitely. I know the answer to this question already, but I'm just going to set myself up to feel old for a second. A Fleet Alex way before your time?
I was about 2 years old.
Okay, you were alive. I'll take that. I was alive.
Yep. There's actually a picture of him sitting in my house. It's been in there since 2005. It's the only time I've parents really have to horse racing is that it's a signed picture too. It's signed by Jeremy Rose, the jockey, of him in the Arkansas Derby.
Awesome. He was such a good one. Of all those horses that won the 2 legs of the Triple Crown, he was right there at the top in terms of quality. And the tie-in, of course,
Florida bred.
There you go. All right, let's look at these races, my friend. We kick off this card. We've got 8 races on this Monday, meaning that our players place pick 8 starts right in race number 1. 12:20 is the post time for this one. It's a fun bet. It's $1 minimum. You got to catch a place horse in every race. Gives you action throughout the card, and there can be carryovers to roll up. Lots of good things with this player's place pick 8, a bet that I have a lot of fun with, kind of like the place pot that they have over in the UK and Ireland. Race number 1 is a claiming event for fillies and mares 3 and up. We're going a mile on the turf. Chance, how are we going to light this candle?
That's a great question. I don't know if we want to be how many candles we want to be lighting on the turf. This is also the start of the Tropical Turf Pick 3, so keeping that bet also in mind as you make the selections for the players pick 8. I think I want Take Dat, the number 9, to get things started. This horse, he comes out of a really classy state bred allowance race. Her best figures on the turf definitely make her a competitor in the spot. I like the change to Edwin Gonzalez. He's a grinder. He's moved his tack all across the country every week. Seen him at Presque Isle, track I've been covering. He's moved over. I think he's at Monmouth Park a little bit, all over the place. I do like the change there. High percentage jockey. There are a couple of others in this race that I think their speed figures make them competitors. I like the 5 Vanish, the 2 Oxar, especially Oxar is that earlier pace type of horse maybe as B-sides, but I will stick with the wide draw, Take Dat in the first.
All right, I like it. Edwin Gonzalez putting the journey in Journeyman, it sounds like. I'm with you on Oxar. I think there's a case to be made here. This is a horse that I'm actually not sure how the trip's going to unfold, but one thing I like is looking at those late sectionals. Has been able to finish the races okay. Maybe can get in a good position and see things out. Role play is another one that I'll mention that I thought could go well in here. Flow move up coming out of the last. And I thought that last turf race 3 back was maybe a little bit better than it looked. Against better company, made kind of a middle move before stopping to a walk. She might be seen to better effect in this spot. That's how we see this very first race at Gulfstream on Monday. Let's move on to the second race on this Monday card. We've got a maiden claiming event on the dirt, going 6 furlongs for 3 and up fillies and mares. A couple of runners I have my eye on here, Chance. Number 1, Culture, I thought was a good candidate to wake up for Tarek Mubarak. Big drop in class with the addition of blinkers. And another I wanted to mention was the 4-runner Rays Creek. Took a little money on debut, and I thought ran pretty well, all things considered, after a poor break. And this is an interesting dam that she's out of. 8 siblings have made it to the races in the U.S. All 8 have won. She could make it number 9. How do you see it?
I think this race runs through a horse you might get a nice price on here in the number 7, Cam's Girl. She very much seemed to turn the corner in her last race. She finished second. She passed horses to do it. She's getting more ground to work with in this maiden race. She's also getting 10 pounds on the field. She has a rookie jock on. I do also like 1, Culture, dropping to the tag in this race.
All right. We have some agreement in both races, 1 and 2, to start off this late or early double at Gulfstream on Monday. Action continues with race number 3. We've got a synthetic starter allowance restricted to 3-year-olds. We're going a mile and a 16th. Chance, who do you like?
Yeah, I like to kick off the 20-cent rainbow pick 6. I like the number 4, I'm Sam. Safi Joseph, a high percentage barn. He's always winning in Florida. Mika Husbands just won the Clement L. Hirsch in Del Mar just the other day, having one heck of a year with a Eunomia Navajo Warrior going all over the place, comes back to Florida. This horse, I'm Sam, I think his best day on Tapeta will dwarf everyone else here. I expect a big performance from the number 4 here again.
Number 4, I Am Sam, is definitely one of the ones for me in this spot off this recent run of form, particularly that starter allowance 2 back. That was a better field than this. Horse moved a little bit early. My only issue was potentially a short price. And I wanted to mention a couple others, whether or not you want to maybe do some backup lines in this Rainbow Pick 6. Of course, mandatory Monday at Gulfstream, meaning that money's getting forced out. Going to be a lot of money in this pool chasing that carryover. I think I might play a couple backup lines. The 2 that I'm going to use, number 1, Advanced. I thought this horse acquitted himself pretty well in the first start against winners. Now well drawn in a race without much apparent speed. Maybe can get the jump on this field. And the 6, Camagal, I thought was mentioning, improved a lot for synthetic last time, has some back class. This was a stakes-placed 2-year-old, but I Am Sam, or I'm Sam, very obvious way to start off this pick 6 on mandatory Monday at Gulfstream Park. The late pick 5 kicks off in race number 4. We've got a starter allowance on the dirt going 6 furlong for runners 3 and up. Very hard to improve a horse off of Safi Joseph Jr. with the great job he does. But number 3, Mish, more than fits in this spot. An old class horse who should get a good forward trip. This horse is back, turned around quick off the claim, and looks very dangerous. One horse that might be a little bit more of a price that I want to play around with is the 7, Mythical Man. That run 2 weeks ago was maybe a little bit better than it looked. That was a fast pace he attended before that race collapsed, and that was off a break. Maybe with some proper hold-up tactics, this one could go a lot better second time off the layoff. Chance, who do you like in race number 4?
I went a little bit of a different direction. I went to the east side, the number 2 horse. He's coming down from Stakes Company. He's very comfortable in this class, as he's shown. I like getting Diego Herrera back on this horse. Never finished worse than second when riding this horse. 3 wins and 5 starts over the distance, 4 in the money finishes. 2 back, I want to key in on the big drama handicap. Multiple horses came out of that race to run very well. Some of them stayed in Stakes Company. Some of them went and dropped. There were multiple horses that came out of that race that won or placed in their next starts. To the east side is where I'm going for race number 4.
Love it. And we can use that as the button. We'll tell people how the sausage is made here who are watching the whole show. We're trying with these to be a little snappy at the end so we can pick a social clip beautifully. And you did my job for me, which is even better.
Awesome.
The late pick 4 starts off with race number 5. It is a $10,000 synthetic claiming event going a mile and a 16th. Chance, we'll keep it with you.
I think this one shakes itself out fairly simply. Navy Cross, with the consistency, got the better of a lot of rivals that will be faced again in this race. Never been more than 3 lengths off of a winning effort when running on the Tapeta after this barn switch. The horse that beat him last time out was dropping in tag and did go off as the favorite. I think Navy Cross has a little bit more to show in this race. We'll run it back, get the win this time around.
We are in lockstep here, my friend. Number 4, Navy Cross, simply done too much too soon in these last 2 races. Last time, the only one from that pace battle early to be anywhere close at the end. I thought this was a slightly easier group. And if Navy Cross can just run a little bit more evenly early on, I think he can put the sword to this field. Really excited to see if we can get maybe a halfway decent price on Navy Cross in race number 5. Race number 6 at Gulfstream on this mandatory Monday. We kick off our players late pick 3, connecting races 6, 7, and 8 with very player-friendly terms. The $3 minimum and the low 15% takeout. We've got a turf allowance to kick things off, going 5 furlongs for fillies and mares 3 and up. I quite like number 2, Layla Bella Girl in this spot. Nice body of work, turf sprinting. You look at the overall mark, 16 starts, 2 wins, 4 seconds, 0 thirds. Not incredibly impressive. But then you look at 5 furlongs on turf at Gulfstream, 6, and then the same 2 wins and 2 of those seconds. I just think this is what Layla Bella Girl wants to do. Should get a perfect stalk and pounce trip. And there's a couple of tearaway speeds in here. Just think it's going to be a perfect trip for the 2-runner. Are you with me, or you want to bring somebody else to the party?
I'm with you all the way, PTF. I ended up on Layla Bella Girl also. I like the allowance race that she comes out of. I like the fact that she worked another 3 furlong breeze in 36 and 3. She did that right before she won that allowance race. She works that again as a prep before this. The Gulfstream turf, clearly where this 5-year-old wants to be. I do think there are horses that have comparable figures to her. Chance to Party, ironically, is a horse I believe needed a race to get up to speed, has shown some fast works. I do not think that will be at the expense, though, of Layla Bella Girl.
Good stuff in race number 6. We move on to the late double race 7 Gulfstream on mandatory Monday. We've got the $5 players late double in effect here. Player-friendly terms with that higher minimum and the low 15% takeout. Featured race of the day is a dirt allowance going 6.5 on the dirt. Chance, who's your idea of the winner?
Well, classic, of course, the number 6 for me. He has some crazy class to him since December of last year. Look at the list of horses he has duked it out with. Stakes winners, Skippy Longstocking, Damon's Mound, Litigation, Neo Equos, Rolando, a horse that's got multiple stakes wins. He finally gets out of that nasty stakes company for trainer Patrick Biancone, who does a lot with just a few horses. I like classic, of course, the 6.
Classic, of course, is a horse that I would not mind at all for my horizontal plays, but there's a horse I particularly like for the players place pick all, which if you're just watching this clip on social, you'll say, I can't bet that now. It's the middle of the card. Well, you can bet it next Monday, and you can bet it any day that you're betting on Gulfstream Park. But the horse I like for that bet potentially is the number 1, Wistucky. This is a horse who's 2 for 20 lifetime, but 11 of 20 in the exacta, and 5 for 5 in the exacta, going 6.5. He's shown he can run well from the rail in a chute configuration. Some horses don't like that. He doesn't mind it. He's done that well on multiple occasions, and I just thought the horse could be loose. I'm hoping the price rises over the 6-1 of the morning line because this horse is not as fast as some of those he's running against today. But I thought there was a case to be made that Wistucky could get a little piece in here. In addition to the 6, the other one I'd want for horizontals is the number 3, Pure Class. I think this horse has a bit more tactical speed than the other obvious figure horses and did run the top choice down rather easily last time. Could well do so again. 1, 3, and 6 for me in race number 7. We close it out with our nightcap We've got a turf maiden going a mile and a 16th for runners 3 and up. We conclude all of the late picks on this Monday card at Gulfstream here, including, of course, the Rainbow mandatory payout, giving mandatory Monday its name. When it comes to all these bets, my friend, how are we going to get paid?
The horse that I want to get me to the pay window, I keyed it on Senor Roberto in the final race 8. He likes to come from off the pace, way back on the turf. He's getting more ground to work with in this spot. I think he'll break through, especially we have a couple of first-time starters in this race. Potential to be keen to set the early pace that he needs to close into. I will take the 2 to get me to the window today.
Senor Roberto, I get him. I looked at him. I was worried if there would be enough pace. So funny enough, I'll go with one with a similar name in a different language. You're going with the Senor. I'm going with the Sir. I thought there might have been some hidden improvement with Sir Guinness's last run. He attended a pace that collapsed, still ran a figure within a couple of points of his top. Decent form out of that race, too. Couple of runbacks, horses who finished behind him, came back to run second with respectable figs, switching to the high percentage Bo Chapman barn. And I thought this horse might be able to get a better trip. For the purposes of our horizontals, let's use them both, 2 and 6, to close things out at Gulfstream Park on Mandatory Monday. Well, Chance, that was fun. You did a great job. I loved working with you in this context. The first show we've gotten to do together. I think we'll have to run it back soon, my friend.
Definitely. Have me on whenever you've got the opportunity. I definitely want to do this again. I have a blast doing it.
Excellent. Well, stay tuned to In the Money Media for an array of racing coverage. Hopefully, we're going to have more on these Gulfstream Park Mondays as we go along. And, of course, we'll have stuff from Saratoga and Del Mar, free written content all over the website, inthemoneypodcast.com. Another great way to keep track of everything we've got cooking. We've got a free newsletter, inthemoneypodcast.com/email, inthemoneypodcast.com/email for the free newsletter. I mentioned the plus email, so I'll put in a plug for that. We do also, if you want even more racing content, have a plus service with extra analysis, particularly of Saratoga and Del Mar. That's the one you can find at inthemoneypodcast.com/plus. Thank you one more time, Chance, for doing the show, getting up early with us here on this Sunday morning to record. Thanks so much to our friends at Gulfstream Park, especially Pete Rotundo, for their ongoing support and partnership. The show's been a production of In the Money Media. I'm Peter Thomas Fornatale. May you win all your photos.